We are the home of Milwaukee Black Talk. 1017 FM, 1510 AM WGKB Waukesha and W269DL Milwaukee, a locally owned Good Karma brand station.
It's time! It's time! It's Vader time!
You are watching a master at work.
Truth Nation, get ready for the greatest 60 minutes in radio, giving you his authentic and bold opinions, bringing you all the information, entertainment, and conversations you gotta hear. From local issues to trending topics and headline news, it is time for Truth to Power with Kyle Wallace on the award-winning 1017 The Truth, The Truth app, 1017thetruth.com, and streaming live on YouTube. Now, live from the American Family Insurance Studio at the Avenue in the heart of downtown Milwaukee, here is your award-winning host, Kyle Wallace.
What up, Truth Nation? What up, Truth Nation? Happy Tuesday to you. This is Truth to Power with Kyle Wallace on the award-winning 1017 The Truth. I am Kyle Wallace, who will take you through the next 59 minutes of the greatest 60 minutes in radio. Shout out to my boy DJ Brother Z, as always, holding it down on the ones and the twos.
DJ Brother Z.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Make sure y'all tap into this conversation today, because it's going to be a good one. I try to always bring the fire every single day when I step behind this mic. If you want to join in on the conversations, you already know what it is. 833-212-1017. That is the Truth Talk to text line, 833-212-1017. And also, if y'all want to watch and stream live on YouTube, please do, because you can stream and watch us live on YouTube at 1017thetruth.com, or you can go to 1017 The Truth on YouTube, 101.7 The Truth on YouTube, and make sure you stream us there. Hit that little subscribe button, because we are trying to get to 5,000 subscribers. Also, hit that like button as well. 833-212-1017. Again, that's Truth Talk to text line. And today, before I get started, I had just something pop up before I came on. I had an opportunity to speak with a gentleman. His name is Rafael Garcia. He works at Community First, and I never heard of him before. Never heard of him. He was coming around, or just somebody that you have different people, potential partners that come around, and he talked about some of the work he's doing. He does work in housing, and let me tell you, having those type of conversations are extremely refreshing, because those are refreshing only because of the fact that what he's talking about and the work that they're doing is the work that we need to have, right? He does housing stuff, but one of the things we talked about specifically at Community First, which I really adored and loved and got me going, right? Like, you get that adrenaline rush or that good endorphin that gets released in your body. You want to just talk about it, but you can't because you got to go somewhere. But he was talking about the fact that he has a program that he works with families when families can't afford to keep a house, right? If your family's struggling to pay property taxes, they try to work with you to help you not only keep the house, but then on top of that, he works with you to get funding so you can make repairs. Because so often we talk about like Hallier Park, and we talk about the rising property taxes that we have here in the city of Milwaukee, and they are going up. I've seen my property tax bill jump significantly here in Milwaukee over the last really 2 or 3 years, I want to say, because I know we had a pause, I want to say in 2021, 2022. And so knowing that we have organizations out here like his at Community First that not only will, try to help you find funding so you can pay your property taxes, but if you're working on a fixed income to try to pay your property taxes, but you got a leaky roof, right? Your toilet's not operating properly. You know, your HVAC system ain't working, right? Like you have all these, your water heater not working. You have all these other issues, right? You pay the city of Milwaukee to keep a roof over your head, but the roof is leaking and things aren't working properly. He has an organization that can help fund to get some of those repairs done, and they're forgivable loans, and all you got to do is stay in the house for 5 years. And so things like that make me excited because we always talk about the problem. We talk about the issues. We come from sometimes a negative lens because the negativity really are the things that keep people going. But it's beautiful us to be able to highlight the positive people out there who have nonprofit organizations that are truly contributing to the success of other individuals. And so I just felt like I just had this conversation. I just felt like I need to give a shout out because for me, I've been blessed and fortunate enough to not have to worry about a roof being over my head. I've been blessed and fortunate enough not to have to worry about, whether or not, we going to make ends meet. But I understand that though I was blessed to have that, everybody isn't fortunate enough to have that same blessing. Everybody isn't fortunate enough to not have to have those concerns. So knowing that there's organizations out there like this, and I'm sure many others, that are working to make for a sustainable and healthy lifestyle for people in the community that I'm born and raised in, it means a lot to me, and I think it should mean a lot to you. So shout out to Community First and the work that Raphael is doing over there at Community First. Now, 833-212-1017. Want to transition into something else because, this has been something that, has been brewing with me, and I just wanted to bring it up because I heard Ben and Carrie talking about it today. It's something that I had on my to-do list that I wanted to talk about this week, but I had to get past yesterday what was on my mind. But I just hate how politics makes you all of a sudden hate things you never cared about, right? Like if, politics will shed light on stuff that you don't even know about, and they'll make you, based off your political beliefs, all of a sudden have disdain towards something, right? I think a great example, and this is self-inflicted, Tesla, 4 years ago, Tesla was the belle of the ball. Everybody loved Tesla. Everybody loved Elon Musk. Electric vehicles, oh, yes, we love that. Talking about potentially, SpaceX taking us to the moon. We all love the different innovation in the mind of Elon Musk. And then all of a sudden it came to this political year, and we realized that Elon Musk may have a different motive of what's motivating him, and also the Facebook folks as well. And no, we don't like Elon. I think it's justified. I think my disdain for Elon Musk is very, very justified in the fact that he has not done anything that I believe has truly tried to uplift we black Americans. As a matter of fact, you already know I talked about it. He convinced Donald Trump to try to have America be a place where white South Africans can come get refuge, which I'm 100% against based off the past history of the Afrikaners in South Africa and the racist history that Elon Musk and his family has, but also South Africa. But then I just got to think about these federal workers. And I was having a text conversation. I got friends all across the spectrum. And some of the most vocal anti-Kamala Harris folks that I was friends with, or the most anti-Democratic folks I was friends with, or the most anti-government people I was friends with is my black friends. And not a lot of them, just a couple brothers. The women always are on the right side of history. Just a couple brothers who I believe sometimes a lot of their perspective is rooted in hate, or a lot of their perspective is rooted in frustration and not always rooted in facts. And that's what frustrates me, is that people can use their emotions to react to stuff, but then I always use facts on top of my emotions to react to things. And I was having a conversation with my good friend, dear friend. I mean, I've been friends with this gentleman since I was like 8 years old, right? And so we talking about almost 30 years that I've been friends with individuals. That's my homeboy. And when we were having a text conversation yesterday, and I said, man, what is happening with these federal workers is a shame. Like, it's terrible that the federal workers right now are under attack, and all of a sudden we don't like federal workers based off what's going on. And I was like, man, this is frustrating. And when my good friend said, yeah, man, I don't care about them federal workers, I said, brother, what? You don't care about federal workers? I said, we can't let a label or a job title dictate how we feel about individuals. We still have to understand that these are Americans. These are people who can be our neighbors. And I want people to understand, listening to Truth Nation, is that because you are a federal worker, it does not mean that you work in D.C. There are federal workers here, people who work at the VA office who had to respond to that email yesterday. Or maybe not, we're told not to. But I just find it interesting how politics can all of a sudden create an enemy for us that we didn't know was our enemy, and we don't know why they're our enemy. And so I specifically look at this federal worker one because it's baffling to me that we have allowed politics to turn us against people who are making an honest, hard living. How is it that we all of a sudden have allowed politics to make us have this disdain, and not all of us, only some of us, for federal workers to say, oh, what they're doing is wasteful. Oh, every federal worker has a wasteful job? Like, we go to these extremes. And when I think about federal workers, I don't just think about a job title. I think about who they are as an American citizen. You're talking about mothers. You're talking about fathers. You're talking about caretakers. You're talking about individuals, American citizens who have jobs that lead to them to live a lifestyle that afford them the life to pay rent, pay mortgage, keep a roof over their head like I talked about earlier today, right? Have them make repairs at their home that they need to make when there's an emergency. Pay for their children to go to the basketball camp or play the sports that they love to play. Make sure they have food on their table, clothes on their back. Like, these individuals aren't just a title of a federal worker. These are human beings who have a livelihood, who had a livelihood that was snatched from them. And some people are celebrating it being snatched from them, and they don't know why. How is it that we can not speak up and stay silent and stand to the side or cheer other people losing jobs? And what blew my mind with the conversation that I had with my dear friend is that when he lost his job, he was going to the union to try to say, well, y'all didn't protect me. And so I just found it interesting is that when he lost his job about years ago, not recently, he's not part of this, but when he lost his job, he was mad, he was upset, he felt like he got dead wrong. Now, he may have been in the wrong, he may have not been in the wrong. That's between me and him. I ain't going to share his information. But then to have the same text conversation with somebody who is applauding the downfall of a hardworking person that's working at a national park, of a hardworking person who's working at the Department of Defense, a hardworking individual that is literally working at the VA office. To applaud and say we don't give a dang about their job right now is crazy. How far has America's fallen? Our morals are gone. It just frustrated me, right? Like, people who work in important roles in the federal work matter. Researchers, they matter. Individuals who work in infrastructure, they matter. Healthcare, they matter. Social services, these people matter. But I, again, am baffled by how we had literally the largest American layoff in history. 221,000 people have been laid off from their jobs. And we are sitting here, some people are applauding this and saying their jobs were wasteful. I get it. Doge is looking for wasteful jobs, but you cannot tell me within a span of 30 days you can figure out strategically whose job is wasteful, whose job is inefficient, and whose is not. You can't do that in 30 days. I am all about us doing audits. I am all about us strategically approaching this in a way where we can actually figure out what is wasteful. Because every single last one of us, regardless of our political beliefs, we should all believe and we all know that there is wasteful spending in government, that there are people who abuse a system here in the city of Milwaukee that should not be abusing that system. We talked about it earlier on Truth to Power a couple weeks ago about a woman who is now behind bars because of the fact that she was able to buy food stamps. Right? There are people who play the system. We should definitely find a way to reduce that to save money for taxpayers. But we can't just randomly just fire a whole bunch of people and then say we'll figure it out later. That doesn't do Americans justice. Just imagine here in Milwaukee. Imagine if Milwaukee Public Schools decided to cut 50% of their staff, and not even thinking about the impact that will have on the students. Think about the impact that has on the local economy here in Milwaukee. You're talking about people making $40,000, $50,000, $60,000, $80,000 per year, all of a sudden don't have an income. They can't stimulate the economy. That has a negative impact on small businesses. Think if Northwestern Mutual laid off 50% of their staff in Milwaukee. what type of negative impact that would have on Milwaukee's economy. One of the largest employers in the city of Milwaukee and the state of Wisconsin, if they were cut their workforce like that by 50%, that would have a negative impact on housing in downtown Milwaukee, housing in Milwaukee County, and also the economics in the city of Milwaukee. So we have to look bigger than this has an impact on one individual in their livelihood. It also has a negative impacts on local economies. So again, when I just look at this non-strategic way of going about it, and this reckless way of them going about trying to find waste, and people applauding it, is disgusting to me. We have gotten to the point where we have allowed politics to blind us, and we no longer are thinking about human decency. And so I implore and I push for you, Truth Nation. If you want to join in on the conversation, 833-212-1017. That's 833-212-1017. That's the Truth Talk to text line. I ask for you to call in and share your comments. Because for me, when I just overall think about this, it was really sparked by everything happening, but then the conversation I had with a good friend of mine, and I just could not believe how he said he did not care that federal workers were losing their jobs. But then at the same time, if he was to lose his job, or you were to lose your job, or your mother, your sister, your brother, your cousin, your auntie, your niece, your nephew, if anybody within your circle of friends were to lose their job, they gave you that phone call saying, hey, I just lost my job, your heart would probably drop. You would probably console them. You would have empathy. But at the same time, because we don't know these federal workers, or some of us do not, we lack empathy that we should give to every single human being. 833-212-1017. Martin, you're on the award-winning 1017 The Truth. What are your thoughts on this conversation?
TTP, to the world blow up. I look at it like this, my brother. The American people has lost the empathy and sympathy. But you understand it's a bigger ideology to this. White supremacy is constantly working in Milwaukee and other cities, majorly. Most of the federal workers are black, okay? Yes, that's a fact. Most of the federal workers are black. So when they cut all the federal workers, they cut the black folks, okay? They hurt us. So they under attack. We under attack. Everybody is under attack because you just can't cut something and don't know what it's attached to. Everything that's funded in the government, they fund a program. Other programs is funded through other programs. So when you cut
That's
one
true.
program, you cut other programs. And that's what the people that voted for that man didn't understand.
And I agree, Martin. I think that's so. Thank you so much, Martin. I think Martin makes a great point. Is we have to understand that the federal government has its hand in so much stuff that helps support positive initiatives in our communities, right? I think I talked about it yesterday. I don't know if I went deep into it or not. I think I talked about my top 3 yesterday, is the fact that they're cutting funding to the UW-Madison, where Madison is going to, where part of the program is that 36 students were going to be working on their master's degrees, but at the same time working in MPS, and then had to commit 3 years after they got done with this program to working in MPS. But those are positions where we have a shortfall, a shortage of staff at Milwaukee Public Schools, and it was being filled through funding from the government. But on top of that, they were filling an important need for our community. And so we're talking about when that money gets, slashed, it impacts UW-Madison, it impacts students, and it impacts our kids, and it impacts our pocketbooks as well as people who pay taxes for the city of Milwaukee, property taxes that go towards MPS. So again, I just want people to understand that these federal workers that are losing their jobs, they are not just federal workers. They are Kyle Wallace. They are DJ Brother Z. They are Sherwin Hughes. They are Tory Lowe. They are Dr. Ken Harris. They are Kerry Noney. They are Ben Jim. They are human beings that have a real name. They're not just individuals and pawns to be used in a game where you can just decide whether or not they're going to have a job. Could you imagine at your job, you get an email on a weekend. You're not even on the clock. You get an email on the weekend that tells you that you must submit the 5 things that you did the following week by 11:59 on Monday, or you will be losing your job. Could you imagine what type of stress that could cause for some people. And for us to sit here and act like that's normal, it's not. And I am one person that truly believes in if you sign up for a job, that's what you have to do. It is what it is. Like, I am a firm believer in getting the work done. But also, you need to have some type of empathy as part of that and understanding some stuff just ain't right. And that right there, Truth Nation, it ain't right. Let's care about these people who are hard working individuals who are contributing positively to our society, people that we want to have our children look up to, aspire to be. They're not just a label. They are human beings, and we need to treat them like that. 833-212-1017. That is the Truth Talk to text line. I will get to y'all texts. I will get to y'all calls as we continue this conversation. Also, coming up, we'll be talking about reckless driving across Milwaukee. David Crowley, the Milwaukee County executive, signed something yesterday to try to curb reckless driving. But again, here we go. Another idea. I like David Crowley, but it's probably not going to work. But we're going to talk about it because we got to find a way to solve this reckless driving. 833-212-1017. That's the Truth Talk to text line. Watch and stream us live on YouTube. We need to get y'all on YouTube because we're trying to get to 5,000 subscribers on YouTube. So make sure y'all hit that subscribe button. Make sure y'all hit that thumbs up button. But on the other side, I'll have your calls. I'll have your texts. This is Truth to Power with Kyle Wallace on the award-winning 1017 The Truth.
Truth to Power with Kyle Wallace returns after this on 1017 The Truth app, and streaming live on 1017 The Truth on YouTube.
This is 1017 The Truth, Kyle Wallace, and the time is now, Milwaukee. Truth to Power is your platform, and on my show, our community always has a voice. There is no topic that is off limits, and I always give you my authentic opinions on how I feel because keeping it real is the only way I know how to get down. Listen to Truth to Power with me, Kyle Wallace, every day from noon to 1 p.m. on the award-winning 1017 The Truth app, and streaming live on YouTube at 1017 The Truth. Milwaukee Black Talk.
Are record energy costs putting a squeeze on your fixed or limited incomes? With limited incomes not keeping up with the lingering effects of inflation, you might be one of tens of thousands of Wisconsin residents who are struggling to survive in the blistering heat of summer or the bitter cold of winter. While you haven't asked for it, the Keep Wisconsin Warm Cool Fund and your local energy assistance providers are here to help. No Wisconsin resident should ever have to face the challenge of living without heat or power or face homelessness. For a hand up, apply today and call 1-800-506-5596. That's 800-506-5596. Or visit www.kwwf.org.
American Family Insurance is a lot like Captain America. He protects the world.
It's just doing my job.
And we help protect your dreams with amazing auto and home coverage. American Family Insurance. Get a quote and find an agent at amfam.com. And see Marvel Studios' Captain America: Brave New World.
Suit up. We need to move.
In theaters February 14th. This film is not yet rated.
Products not available in every state. American Family Mutual Insurance Company, SI, and its operating company, 6000 American Parkway, Madison, Wisconsin.
Ready to buy your first house, move into your forever home, or simply refinance? At Associated Bank, they've got you. With the right lending plan and guidance, you can achieve your dreams. Your financial goals are closer than you think, and Associated Bank is excited to help you reach them. Learn more at associatedbank.com/lending or ask a banker for details. Subject to credit approval, member FDIC, equal housing lender.
I walk on the shoulders of giants who have come before me.
I am ASAP and Maya Angelou.
I am Marva Collins and Frederick Douglass.
From A to Z, I celebrate, emulate, and commemorate their example.
This is part of the Declaration of Excellence Milwaukee College Prep Scholars recite, not just during Black History Month, but each and every morning, because our students don't just honor history, they're determined to shape it. Enroll your scholar at MilwaukeeCollegePrep.com.
You are listening to Truth to Power on 1017 The Truth app, and streaming live on 1017 The Truth on YouTube.
How many from the club wanna go? I know you see it. I know you see it. I'm like
Many, Money, Mo. What you know about this song, Zach? You was a child. Oh, you just shrugged your shoulders. I don't know it. It was a popular song. This is Truth to Power here on the award-winning 101.7 The Truth. I am Kyle Walsh, the host of Truth to Power. 833-212-1017. That is the 101.7 The Truth talk to text line. Make sure you call or chime in if you have any thoughts on this conversation. Also, make sure y'all stream us live on YouTube, 101.7 The Truth on YouTube. Go to youtube.com, then type in 101.7 The Truth on YouTube. Hit that live button, hit that subscribe button, and hit that thumbs up button. I see we having a great conversation inside of the chat there. But also, 833-212-1017. Sandra, you're on the award-winning 101.7 The Truth. What are your thoughts about this conversation about the over 200,000 federal workers who have been laid off, which does not also include the 75,000 workers who took the buyout? So you're talking about we're almost at 300,000 employees who are not going to be working for the federal government, and that is definitely going to make us less efficient here in America.
Okay. Hi. My thoughts are they used the divide and conquer strategy, which they pushed their agenda, and they broke us apart from each other. But see, it started a long time ago. It started back when they started pushing all the industrial jobs offshore and all that stuff, and now they're saying they want us to get our own businesses, and they want to have profit businesses going. Like these rich people want to swoop up in here and open up businesses where they can keep making money off of us, the nonprofit jails and all that stuff. So there's a lot of stuff going on, and this guy, he was a professor out of Ohio State, and just before Donald Trump won his first election, the guy was saying that AI and the robots and all this stuff is really going to be, put on order here. That we're going to be watching all this stuff.
Sandra, I don't think people understand the revolution that is about to come with AI. Artificial intelligence is going to take a lot of jobs. And think about it. We as humans have flaws. We have emotions. We have up and downs. Just even me being a manager in the past, right? Like when I manage people, I'm not just managing your day-to-day work. People are human beings. They have emotions. They have good days. They have bad days. They have struggles. They have frustrations. They have learning curves. That is all the things you have to manage. When it comes to robots and AI technology, there is no emotions you manage. They just get the job done, and they're efficient. Ain't no sick days. Ain't no I'm finna go to the Caribbean island.
Go home to your family.
Yeah, ain't none of that.
Vacation.
There ain't none of that.
That's why the jobs left. And then they said we want a cheaper product. Let me tell you, that mess they sent over here, the buttons fall off from China and all that stuff. And the little radios and stuff don't last long. People need to wake up. They just sell us a bunch of garbage, and we go for it. And that divide and conquer strategy, it works for them every time. And put the race in there, the racial thing, it works every time for them.
Really quickly, Miss Sandra.
Strategy is all day.
Miss Sandra, before I let you go, because this is something that's, I don't know if I'm going to talk about it, but it's something that's going to be talked about as well once the bill gets passed. But your thoughts, and I know you are you're one of our seniors, our value seniors. What are your thoughts about, and are you worried about the fact that there could be $800 billion in cuts from Medicaid over the next decade? Are you concerned about any of these potential cuts that are coming up and how that could impact you? Oh, she hung up. Dang. I was gonna ask her that question. I was really curious to know.
I ain't doing nothing.
I'm not impacted personally by this, so I was just curious about how if old people were getting nervous.
Maybe she got offended.
Well, I mean, she's told us her age. I said she's a distinguished member of our community. She is
a valued one.
A valued member of our community. But I mean, she's a little bit on the older side. Hell, my mom on the older side. That's what it is. That comes with age comes wisdom. She's one of our wisdom queens that we have here at 101.7 The Truth. But 833-212-1017. That's the Truth Talk to text line. And so I'll basically wrap this one up here. Is that I just really feel like when it comes to our federal workers and it comes to when you hear the headlines, right? Don't just think this is a headline. This is a real life. So when you hear somebody being told that, Elon Musk saying, hey, I told you over the weekend, y'all got until Monday at 11:59. I'm going to give y'all another chance. Y'all got until Tuesday at 11:59 to respond to that email. And if you do not respond, do know you may not have a job anymore. I just want y'all to know that y'all might find it funny. Y'all might find it tough. But that's a real person who is scared for their life. like their livelihood. They're not going to die or anything like that, but scared for their livelihood. So 833-212-1017. Lana Banana, what are your thoughts on this conversation?
Okay, how you doing?
I'm doing great, Queen. How about yourself?
Wait a minute. Who's that?
Who is who?
Who's that?
When you say that, are you talking about me, Kyle Wallace?
Oh, I'm sorry. It was I had a YouTube. It went to a different thing, and I thought it was an interruption. My fault. I'm sorry. How are you, Kyle?
I'm doing well. How about yourself?
Good. I'm woke and I'm fine.
Oh, that's great to hear.
These are my thoughts. These are my thoughts. Now, see that it becomes dangerous when you have that all or nothing thought, mindset, and when you have the if and the then, because it's like black and white. You can't put everything in one bag. You have to separate what's in that bag and see which one is the one that's supposed to be the chosen one. I don't know if that makes sense.
What bag you talking about? You talking in code right now. I want you to decode it for me. When you say putting everything in one bag, what bag are you talking about?
I'm talking about like federal workers versus state workers. You can't just put all federal workers in one category. Like if you don't like the federal government, you don't like all federal workers. It doesn't work. It shouldn't be like that.
I agree.
Because all federal, that's an all or nothing. Because all federal workers aren't bad people. They are individuals. You have to judge each person or consider each person on an individual basis. You can't just group them all, just like you can't say all black people are bad people. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I 100% agree. I would actually say I believe. See, I'm somebody who believes in the dignity of just people and humans, and we all have our flaws. But to say not all federal workers aren't bad. Heck, most federal workers aren't bad. And you're right. You can't group people together. You can't group the Department of Education with the Housing and Urban Development. You can't group the Department of Education with USAID, which is the United States Aid Program. You can't group Department of Energy with the Department of Treasury. They all have different roles. That's like trying to put me here at 1017 The Truth with the marketing team that we got at ESPN LA. Like, we work for the same company, but we got completely two different jobs and two different objectives, right? And if they failing at their objective, that shouldn't impact me because I have a different plan. So I agree with you, Ms. Lana.
Bingo.
Thank you, ma'am. Thank you. I appreciate y'all chiming in on this conversation because it was just something that was on my mind that I was thinking about, and I had a conversation with my friend who, I care about, and somebody asked, does he work for UPS? No, he does not work for UPS. If he did, boy, they got some great protections over there at UPS. But I just feel like we just need to be very mindful of the fact that when we see these headlines, do understand that this is not just a headline. This is actually a human being that's behind the headline, and so we just need to understand that. But on the other side, when we come back, Truth Nation, we got to talk about reckless driving here in America because as I was doing some of my research, some of the numbers that I saw were just absolutely mind-boggling to me. Did y'all know that reckless driving last year was up 113% over the last decade? 113% reckless driving was up. Did y'all also know during that same period of time as well is that in Milwaukee specifically, you saw traffic fatalities from 2008 to 2012 go from 39 per year, and then 2018 to 2022, 72 per year in the city of Milwaukee? That's double. We have a problem here, and I would say a pandemic here that we have to solve, and we're going to talk about it next. This is Truth to Power with Kyle Wallace. I want to hear y'all thoughts on reckless driving and what we can do to curb reckless driving, because at this point, people call them Fonda tracking. They ain't wrong for saying it.
More of Truth to Power is next on 1017 The Truth, The Truth app, and 1017thetruth.com.
It's 1017 The Truth's Dr. Ken Harris for Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin. You can accomplish quite a lot in 6 years. You can go from changing diapers to dropping your child off at school, college. You can get a bachelor's and a master's degree, and you can take up to 6 years to pay off your brand new Pella Windows and Doors at 0% interest. With Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin, you get so much more than just stunning windows and doors. You get the Pella experience. Talk about quality control. Pella manufactures, sells, installs, and services every product. A 10-year labor warranty is always included, so your windows and your doors are secure for years to come. Their expert installers are available year-round and can install in as little as a day. So if anything ever goes wrong, Pella will handle it ASAP because you work with the same team from start to finish. So why wait? Get the Pella experience and this incredible deal. 0% interest for up to 6 years on brand new Pella windows and doors. Certain restrictions apply. Offer ends February 28th of 2025. Set your free in-home consultation today at PellaWI.com.
Thank you, Truth Nation. Because of your unwavering and incredible support, we are proud to announce that we are officially sold out for our first annual Truth Community Awards. We are so excited to celebrate excellence, passion, and the power of community with you on Friday, February 28th at Potawatomi Casino and Hotel. This will be an evening filled with entertainment, heartfelt stories, and celebrating our city with the 1017 The Truth team. Congratulations to the 10 award recipients we will honor that night. They are Dr. Tamika Johnson, Eric Shake James, Ebony Solly, Carvel Brooks, Chris Abele, Walter Stern, Latrice Harris, Melody Madden, Justin McCoy, and Minister Kevin Simmons. Thank you for all of your positive contributions to the city of Milwaukee and beyond. The Truth Community Awards is presented by Potawatomi Casino and Hotel. Visit paysbig.com. Sponsored by Community Advocates, where meeting basic needs inspires hope. And brought to you by the award-winning 1017 The Truth, Milwaukee Black Talk.
Join the roar of 18,000 Bucks fans at Fiserv Forum and be a part of the slam dunks, game-changing plays, and electrifying victories live. Witness the edge-of-your-seat action and unforgettable moments as they happen. You don't want to miss this. Grab your calendar, handpick your favorite matchups, and secure your seats for Dame time in Milwaukee and every incredible moment that comes next at bucks.com/tickets. That's bucks.com/tickets.
When you're high, you feel different. Pretty obvious, right? You think different, talk different, but if you feel different, you drive different. So if you're high, just don't drive. Brought to you by NHTSA and the Ad Council.
Happy kids heal faster, and that's why Starlight is dedicated to improving the mental well-being of sick kids across the U.S. Learn how at starlight.org.
Seriously injured? Make one call. That's all.
This is Associated Bank Sports Update on 1017 The Truth is powered by ESPN Milwaukee. I'm Brandon Snide. The Milwaukee Bucks will look to extend their 4-game win streak to 5 as they are in Houston to take on the Rockets. Giannis speaking after the win on Sunday over the Miami Heat on the new-look Bucks.
With Bobby not being with us right now and me being on minutes restriction or Dame not playing the previous game gives a lot of opportunity for guys to come in and play some extra minutes, get to their spots.
Bucks-Rockets tip-off set for 7 p.m. tonight. Over to college hoops, where the 21st ranked Marquette Golden Eagles will play host to Providence tonight. That game is set to begin at 6 p.m. And lastly, we'll stick with college hoops as the 11th ranked Badgers also in action tonight. They'll host Washington with that scheduled to begin at 8 p.m. This sports update brought to you by Associated Bank, proudly supporting your hometown teams. Member FDIC.
It is Truth to Power on 1017 The Truth app, and streaming live on 1017 The Truth on YouTube.
I tell them, slow down. No, you can't catch me. I move too fast on the gas. Don't chase me.
The award-winning 1017 The Truth proudly celebrates black excellence in the most monumental moments in our history. Tune in all month long as we celebrate the voices, stories, and achievements that have shaped history and inspired the future. 1017 The Truth celebration of Black History Month is sponsored by Milwaukee College Prep, Educators Credit Union, the Freighter and the Medical College of Wisconsin, and American Family Insurance. This is Truth to Power here on the award-winning 1017 The Truth. I am Kyle Walls, the host of Truth to Power. My boy DJ Brother Z always holding it down for us on the ones and twos. Make sure y'all watch and stream us live at 101.7 The Truth on YouTube. Reckless driving, gotta talk about it, because yesterday our Milwaukee County Executive David Crowley, he spoke out about the fact that Milwaukee County has a reckless driving issue and that he wanted to come up with some solutions, right? Some great solutions to try to solve this reckless driving issue that we have here in Milwaukee. And we understand that at this point, the fact that we've had just complete negligent behavior coming from those driving, whether it's speeding, improper lane changes, inattentiveness, erratic driving, or aggressive driving. We have seen all of that in the city of Milwaukee over the last years, but we have seen quite a significant increase. And so the reason that I felt like we need to talk about this because Milwaukee has tried to address it. And I hate the bump outs. I think the bump outs are stupid. And I don't think they're working, but I definitely, for us good driving folks, it's definitely working. But the people who are driving reckless, they just running right over them bump outs. I'm trying to figure out how can we come up with a plan to truly rid ourselves or reduce some of the reckless driving we have here in America, or excuse me, here in Milwaukee, because I saw a stat that, again, it just shocked me. Milwaukee County over the last 10 years, from 2012 to 2022, Milwaukee County saw an increase of 213% in fatal crashes, while the state of Wisconsin saw a decrease of 55% in fatal crashes. This is significant, and this just shows the dire need and the issue that we have with reckless driving here in the city of Milwaukee, because when the state trends 55% down over a decade from 2012 to 2022, but at the same time, Milwaukee County has gone up 200+% in fatal accidents, that is an issue. That is a huge issue that we need to solve, and I'm not excited. It's promising to hear the Common Council and somebody in Lamont Westmoreland who is a Milwaukee Common Council member who I disagree with quite a bit simply because of the fact that he got elected in the office, and one of the first things he did in office was he basically allowed for himself to get a pay raise, and then on top of that, Lamont Westmoreland also agreed to have our taxes get raised so we can, the sales tax get raised, and he was in office all of 3 months, and he decided to side with Mayor Cavalier Johnson and not with the people. He made a decision that I don't like to this day, and so I probably will never vote for him. But at the end of the day, I think he has a great point in the direction that we're trying to go to curb reckless driving. And here's an article from Fox 6 here in Milwaukee about that.
Ongoing problem of reckless driving in Milwaukee County.
Aaron Maben is here in the studio with a resolution rolled out today. And Aaron, this includes over 500 possible traffic calming projects.
Yeah, that's not all, Mary. This is a really big plan to take on a big problem in Milwaukee County that we have been talking about for some time. 150 pages, and leaders are making a brand new push to combat reckless driving with a more unified approach and road redesign. But this all comes as people remain skeptical that this problem, can it really be solved?
At 60th and Capitol in Milwaukee, the problem is clear.
I noticed that everybody runs the red light.
The reckless red light running isn't the only issue Joshua Juvette sees.
A lot of people don't like that. See, exactly. People
ran a red light.
It's crazy around here.
This stretch of road is one of the 25 corridors of concern laid out in the county's comprehensive safety action plan. From 2018 to 2022, county data shows 15 fatal and 69 serious injury crashes spanning several miles of Capitol Drive. County Executive David Crowley signing a new resolution on Monday morning to fight those figures.
For the first time, Milwaukee County and our 19 municipalities will implement a unified strategy to eliminate traffic deaths and severe injuries while improving the health and safety of our entire population.
It outlines 522 potential safety project opportunities that could reduce fatal and serious injury crashes by 18% countywide.
Those traffic calming projects include slow zones, intersection daylighting, signal improvements, and road diets. The county executive says signing the resolution could also unlock new federal funding to support the strategies.
If anybody here has either driven or ridden in a vehicle in Milwaukee County, I think you know why this plan is needed.
I was just horrified by what I was seeing on the news, some of the crashes that I witnessed.
That's why Celia Jackson became an advocate for safer streets. She's with the Coalition for Safe Driving, MKE. While there are skeptics of the new plan, Jackson found positivity in this plan.
The fact that there's movement.
You know, the reckless driving is terrible in Milwaukee.
Joshua Juvette shares what he hopes to see.
It would be nice to put cameras up around here. I hope that there would be more police patrol.
I know
in the
Joshua
area.
wasn't getting on no bus, was he, Zach?
And other top.
But Joshua doing all that talk, he don't even drive. That's crazy. That's crazy. But I guess he witnessed it. That was Fox 6 Milwaukee with that story. And so for me, are we hopeful? Are we actually hopeful that maybe this time we may get it done? Because I hate the speed bumps. Matter of fact, I was riding with somebody in the car. Oh, my guy who was, I took my car to the dealership and rode with my guy. Shout out to Memphis or Tennessee. I think his name was Tennessee. And we were driving, and he didn't see the speed bump. We went boom, boom. He said, I didn't know they put one there. I said, yeah, me neither. And I don't like the speed bumps, but I guess we all have to suffer because of the fools that don't know how to drive. Because if it is for me to have to suffer if I run a red light, which sometimes I may accidentally run a red light. It may go yellow then red, and I might go through it. If I got to pay a ticket for it, then that had to learn me. That would be the lesson that I learned. But Milwaukee needs to do something to curb this reckless driving. There should definitely be red light cameras here in the city of Milwaukee, because if you run a red light, the vehicle that runs the red light, you are responsible for it. So if you let your child drive your vehicle and you don't tell your child yellow means proceed with caution and red means stop, and they get a ticket in your car, that's a household issue. Then you want to talk to them about that ticket that you got to pay. And then maybe they shouldn't be driving the vehicle. Because too often in Milwaukee, as you saw in the video, you'll be sitting there at a stoplight, and all of a sudden somebody will run the red light. Or the light go red and people go zoom, 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 drive through the red light. We have to do something to curb reckless driving here in Milwaukee, because it is truly making it more dangerous for us. And what frustrates me the most about all these ideas that they have, yes, having controlled traffic plans where you have the bump outs, where you have now single lanes in different places, like you have up here on, I think it is on Walnut, I believe that is, here on the north side of Milwaukee. And 6th and Walnut, I believe it is. And having these different things to slow down traffic, they're a good start. But we had plans that we just don't follow through on. Like, remember they were supposed to be towing vehicles of people who were driving recklessly? They only towed 11 vehicles in 2023. And there was a lot more than 11 reckless drivers who deserve to have their vehicles towed in 2023. And I know the number in 2024 ain't going to be that high. I think it was, I think they were on track to have something low. And so for me, we need to have these rules and these laws, and we actually apply them. Remember when they decided to put dummy police cars out on the streets? I know for a fact, I don't know about you, DJ Brother Z, but I know for a fact when I was driving, I saw one of the police cars, you know what I did? I pumped on the brakes, regardless if I was speeding or not. If you see a police car, you're going to pump on the brakes. We need to have more patrolling on our streets to make it safer to drive, because people should not drive down Fond du Lac, and when you get to a light that you're at a red light and it goes green, you shouldn't have to look left, look right, look left, look right, then proceed when the light go green. You should be able, with a peace of mind, hit on your gas when the light goes green, because you trust those around you to drive like they got some dang sense. Are you hopeful with this new plan that we can curb reckless driving? 833-212-1017. Winky Blue, you're on the award-winning 1017 The Truth. You have a question?
Kyle, yes. Well, the question that you saying the new plan. What is the new plan? Are you talking about these curtailing the traffic? Vision Zero.
So basically, what they're looking to do is they're looking to control traffic a lot more with combating reckless driving by having a creative way of changing the way the streets are. So you've seen the different bump outs, and basically they're going to create more congestion in order to control traffic. That's what it is.
Kyle, and guess what? I would expect a person that hasn't looked beyond just reckless driving to go along with the plan. Do you understand that those bump outs and all of those roundabouts and these single lane deals cause the loss of more lives than any reckless driver across this whole country? Now, you got to realize something. This comes from California, my man. California is a far left liberal state. It's really a country by itself with their rules and emissions. Listen, brother, those bump outs, those speed humps cause the loss of life more than any reckless driving. Because
what stats do you have on that one? Now I haven't heard of a bump out causing loss of life. It's early.
Because you're not looking at You're not looking at the call. A lot of times people could be saved. If grandma having a heart attack, had she been here 5 minutes earlier, if he would have been here 20 seconds earlier, he would have been here 2 minutes earlier. If we could have got him here 10 minutes earlier, we could have saved his life. Do you understand when they load up grandma or grandpa or a shot victim and the paramedics got to stop at every speed hump coming down a side street, or even these big crazy ones in the middle of the street? You understand? It stops. It prolongs. It might take off from here, especially if it's freighter, if it's trauma. You got to go way out to freighter, because we in the inner cities around this country have removed all of our trauma centers. So guess what? They can't treat a gunshot victim. They can try to stabilize you and then get you out there. But in that process, you got to stop the speed bump. Stop here. By the time you get there, the man bled out. By the time you get there, there's no resuscitation for grandma. The vision zero, brother. You have to go and look at it. It's people that are pushing back on this to get us in a one single-minded idea where we all thinking one way, all lined up, marching and looking and what. It's like wearing a uniform.
Well, Winky Blue, I think I disagree that they're trying to get us all to be on the same page, because I think you and I agree that I think the bump outs is an interesting effort, and all this driving is an interesting effort, but a lot of us have to suffer because of the fact of these reckless drivers we have out there. Like I don't like this. I said I don't like this, but what other thing can we do? Because when we talk about social services and mental health, I mean, the funding is going to get cut for that. We have an administration that's not focused on that, specifically healing some of the things that we have here in the black community. So how do we solve this bigger issue? Especially if MPS ain't, or not just MPS, the schools in the city ain't doing their job to help stop the issue. Got 10 seconds for a response.
This is how you solve it, Kyle. You continuously deal with it, and this too will pass. It'll pass, man, with the kids doing this dumb stuff, because everybody, they've been running red lights before me and you been born.
It's increased. It's increased. Thanks, Winky Blue. But I have to say, it has increased significantly. We're talking about 113% increase in reckless driving here in the city of Milwaukee, and we're talking about you went from 39 fatalities per year from 2008 to 2012, and seeing from 2018 to 2022, 72 per year. That is double fatalities. So this is an issue that continues to build up. We'll wrap up this conversation on the other side. 833-212-1017. This is Truth to Power with Kyle Wallace on the award-winning 1017 The Truth.
Truth to Power with Kyle Wallace returns after this on 1017 The Truth app, and streaming live on 1017 The Truth on YouTube.
This is Sherwin Hughes from The Truth with Sherwin Hughes. And Truth Nation, you can now watch my show live on YouTube every day from 9 a.m. until noon. Yep, you can get 3 full hours of watching Sherwin doing his thing, streaming live on YouTube Monday through Friday. You'll get the same insightful conversations about policy, politics, and lifestyle, while also seeing my reaction to the unpredictability of our listeners. So go to YouTube right now, subscribe to 1017 The Truth, and see this wonderful smile live every day.
This is your Planned Parenthood Advocates of Wisconsin Minute.
Reproductive justice, it's a framework, it's a movement, it's a vision for reproductive freedom, it's a right to have a child, it's a right to not have children, and this next part is really as important as the other parts. It's the right to birth and parent our children with dignity, and the right to live and parent our children in safe and healthy environments. So reproductive justice understands the ability of any person to control their destiny is directly related to the conditions of their communities. It looks at the intersections of discrimination in social, political, and economic systems, and it sheds lights on the barriers that these systems produce. And then we, reproductive justice advocates, fight against the barriers that prevent Black people and other people of color from exercising their rights. That's reproductive justice.
This has been your Planned Parenthood Advocates of Wisconsin Minute.
What if you could ask a question that leads to cleaner water, discover aspects of the far reaches of space, or journey deep into data to improve healthcare? Researchers at the University of Wisconsin-Milwaukee ask questions, find answers, and add to our understanding every day. Progress starts with the question. It starts at UWM, the University of Wisconsin-Milwaukee.
People often wonder, what's the credit union difference? Well, Let me tell you what's different about Educators Credit Union. We're more than just a financial institution. We're a team of people who are actively invested in the next generation and in the communities where you live and work. We're in classrooms teaching financial literacy, in neighborhoods building homes and relationships, and in local communities lending a helping hand. We believe when communities thrive, we all thrive. Educators Credit Union, achieving more together, insured by NCUA.
Life's better with American Family Insurance because their home policies help protect your dreams and come with peace of mind. Save up to 25% by bundling home, auto, and life. American Family Insurance. Get a quote from an agent at amfam.com. Products are not available in every state. Discounts may not apply to all coverages on an auto or home policy. Discounts do not apply to life insurance policies. Visit amfam.com to learn how discounts may apply to you. American Family Mutual Insurance Company assigned its operating companies American Family Life Insurance Company, 6000 American Parkway, Madison, Wisconsin.
You are listening to Truth to Power on 1017 The Truth app, and streaming live on 1017 The Truth on YouTube.
1, 2, 3, ho!
Truth Nation, our first annual Truth Community Awards is this Friday, and we want to thank you for your unwavering love and support. Congratulations to the 10 award recipients we will honor. That is Dr. Tamika Johnson, Eric Shake James, Ebony Solly, Carvel Brooks, Chris Abley, Walter Stern, Latrice Harris, Melody Madden, Justin McCoy, and Minister Kevin Simmons. The Truth Community Awards is presented by Potawatomi Casino Hotel. Your win is waiting. Visit PaysBig.com. Sponsored by Community Advocates, where meeting basic needs inspires hope. Music provided by our very own Midwest mixer, Doc B, and brought to you by the award-winning 1017 The Truth, Milwaukee Black Talk. I want to thank y'all so much for chiming in today, talking about the federal workers, but then also talking about reckless driving. I see y'all in the chat. I love how y'all be having a great conversation in the chat. We just need to overall think about how can we handle this. I think that we need to start towing these vehicles. I think you get one strike. You drive recklessly, your car gets towed. You don't get no second chance with that. So if you drive reckless, your car gets towed here in Milwaukee. And also, I believe when it comes to writing these tickets, write fat tickets. Write these fat tickets for these people. Because listen, I don't want to have to pay a big ticket. And if I drive recklessly, you know what? I'm going to have to pay the price. You do the crime, you do the time, you pay the price. That is what it is. And then we need to install red light cameras across the city of Milwaukee, because you only get one chance. You run a red light, you get a ticket. I remember I used to talk to a girl on the East Coast, and I remember she ran a red light. What happened? In the mail 2 weeks later, got her license plate in her car going right through that red light. She wasn't even speeding, and she barely went through it. But that is what we need. That will calm down the reckless driving, at least to a certain extent. We also need to help these kids as well and give them outlets and something else to do. I'm glad we don't have 10,000 stolen Kias and Hondas and cars like we did back in 2021. So we definitely got to find different ways to help curb reckless driving here in Milwaukee, because it's a dangerous street out there, y'all. It's very, very dangerous, and we got to find a way to make our streets safer, because the only ones that pay the price are us, because of the accidents, the reckless driving, and how much we had to pay for our car insurance. But this has been Truth to Power here on the award-winning 1017 The Truth. I am Kyle Wallace. I will talk to y'all tomorrow. The Tory Lowe Show is up next. See y'all tomorrow. Peace out. Thanks for joining.
Thank you, Truth Nation. Because of your unwavering and incredible